okay, I'm a Winnipeg Jets fan. Is Patrik Laine underrated compared to other players in the league? He's already beaten his goal total for last year. He scored a hat trick against the Rangers at the Garden. He's got 38 goals this year. He is one of the top teenagers ever in the NHL for getting that goal, the goal total he's got. Is he underrated? Because look what he brings to the Jets organisation. Look what he brings to his teammates, his team. Seriously, how underrated is this guy? Like, people aren't talking about him like they talk about Austin Matthews and Sidney Crosby. Is it because the North American media is mostly on the East Coast or Hollywood, and it doesn't really focus on Winnipeg? I mean, we're going under the radar as an outsider for the Stanley Cup. We're second in the Central Division. Is it because of the team he plays for? I mean, is it because he was drafted second after Austin Matthews? Because when I look at TSN and Sportsnet, when I go online and I look on YouTube and especially Tim and Sid, even when they're talking about Patrik Laine or the Winnipeg Jets, somehow Montreal and Toronto get in the conversation. It's like, that's not what the question's about. It's about what this team are. Is it because he plays for an unfashionable team? We're going very under the radar this season, and he's playing brilliantly. People criticise his 5-on-5 play, but a lot of his goals have actually been scored 5-on-5. Ironically, sometimes it helps a player going under the radar and not having the press intrusion and all that stuff. He's well spoken. He's polite. He's exceptionally skilled, and he's also a very big lump as well. He's not a small guy. Obviously you don't want your skilled players fighting all the time, but I think he can look after himself. I'm just amazed that he's not getting more credit for the work he does with his teammates and on the ice and the effort he puts in. I think the whole team is underrated. I think that the media bias in the US for the Rangers and the media bias in Canada for the Maple Leafs and the Canadians has maybe helped us go under the radar. We're not, people don't seem to follow us much. I've seen a fair bit of the old Jets memorabilia over here in the UK, but I get a bit bored with the bias in the media. I think Laine is exceptionally rated. His 5-on-5 play is a lot better than people give him credit for. He has a lot of assists this season, so he's not just a goal scorer. He can set up players. His power play is much like Ovechkin, but people don't talk about Ovechkin being crap 5-on-5. But a lot of Ovechkin's goals are scored on the power play because he's the point man. He has a thunderous shot in him that other players don't have. But obviously, it's what it is, isn't it? Patrik Laine will be scoring. I think he'll definitely score 100 goals by the playoffs. The rate he's going, he could score 50 goals this season. There's still enough games to do it. If he gets another couple of hat tricks, he can do it. Not that it's very likely. It's very rare that a player scores 50 goals in his second season, but I can see him as a 40-50 goal scorer regularly for several years. That's why, my opinion on it. He's exceptionally underrated by other teams. Kind of underestimate him as well, I think, at their peril. But I'm going to leave that there. I think he's underrated, but I want to hear what people think about Patrik Laine, because he doesn't get the credit I don't think he does deserve. And I think that's the Canadian media bias towards Toronto and Montreal, and that aggravates me intensely, because he's a brilliant player. But anyway, I'm going to leave that there. Please like and subscribe, place your comments below. I want to hear your view on it, and I'll have some more videos for you soon.